What's up, guys? This is Midnight Strike 3625, welcoming you back to Versus 2015, a series that I have not done in almost a year, actually, because I haven't really had the time to do it. I haven't had the motivation, let alone the time, as I said before, with everything going on in my life to make a video, let alone a scheduled one. Versus is a series where I take two things, be it music related or video game related, and pit them against each other to see which one my audience likes more. And of course, I will give my own opinion, as this is my video. I'll provide a little bit of information about them. Maybe you'll find out something you didn't know. Who knows? But I decided to revive this series with none other than Alter Bridge versus Tremonti. No, you heard me right. Alter Bridge versus Tremonti, not Alter Bridge versus Creed. That'd be a little bit too easy for a lot of people because they would just right off the bat say Alter Bridge, or for some people, Creed. So I'm not really sure. But most people actually prefer Alter Bridge. I'm one of the weird ones that actually on some days, on some level, I prefer Creed. On other days, which is, few and far between, I prefer Alter Bridge. Now, I'll get into that a bit later. Maybe I'll do a discography review of them. I haven't decided yet, but there's a lot of stuff I haven't touched on, especially with Alter Bridge. Now, I've reviewed All I Was back in the day. I have since re-reviewed that album because I didn't think I did such a good job back then. It was back in 2012. I had just gotten started. I think it was like my third review ever, so there's that. But this band, Alter Bridge, formed in the demise of Creed. Alter Bridge is basically the phoenix rising out of the ashes of Creed. Creed was dead in 2004. They broke up, they disbanded, they went their separate ways. Every single member of Creed, except for singer Scott Stapp, decided, hey, what the hell, we still want to make music, but we don't want to do it under the Creed moniker. Now, this is something that Guns N' Roses should have done. It's something that 3 Days Grace should have done. It's something that Skid Row should have done. Form a new band, change the name, sever the ties to your past. That way people can recognize you for who you are, not for what you achieved sometime in the past. Because I guarantee you if they went on with the Creed moniker, it would not have been good for the band. But then again, that's all in the past, and moving on. Alter Bridge released their first album, One Day Remains, in 2004. Got mixed to negative reception, but hey, you know what? I really liked that album. It took me a few years to warm up to it because I thought of it being as kind of a Creed successor, or them trying to basically capitalize on the success of Creed. And I don't know. It was weird. I was a kid. I didn't really listen to the music that well or that much. I didn't really look into it. Didn't really know all my facts. But then, of course, they released Blackbird in 2007, a few years later. And this is where Alter Bridge and Tremonti, of course, later would get their signature guitar tone, their signature sound that can be found on all subsequent albums. I don't know what it is. It's the production. It's the guitars. Every single album by Creed, by Alter Bridge, by Tremonti has this same guitar punch, the same tone, the same production value as Blackbird. It all started on this album. It sounds good, but carried on to future albums, I'd like a little bit something a little bit different, I suppose. It all kind of blends together when you think about it. But that being said, it's not a bad thing necessarily. Especially coming from a great album such as Blackbird. Of course, Ties That Bind is one of my favorite songs by Alter Bridge. One of the things that really carries Alter Bridge forward is that, of course, the vocals of Myles Kennedy, the voice of Alter Bridge, the voice of the band. This is what set them apart from Creed back in the day. This is what made them unique. This is what made them stand out. And it would get to the point where even that, the likes of Slash would want to recruit Myles Kennedy to be the singer of basically a Guns N' Roses cover band. But then again, I digress. It's more of a band than Guns N' Roses or Axl Rose's band is now. But Myles Kennedy has some really, really good vocals, especially on the songs where he really has to stretch out his voice and hit the high notes. I mean, he's one of my favorite vocalists of all time. So there is that, and there is the fact that they have a little bit of an edge on Tremonti's band, and I don't really want to call it a solo band, but on Tremonti. Alter Bridge has an edge on Tremonti, whereas Tremonti has only released one album, All I Was. Spectacular album, got a standing ovation when it first was released and hit the shelves in 2012 by all the critics when it was released to a listening party. Got a standing ovation. Everyone stood up and cheered. They loved it. You Waste Your Time was probably one of the best singles of 2012, but the thing is, they only have one album thus far. They're going to be releasing their second album, but Alter Bridge definitely has the edge when it comes to material. They're an older band. They've got 4 albums out right now. I don't know if they're recording a 5th, but I'm not sure. Maybe it'll come out, maybe it won't soon. Maybe they'll get back together with Creed, but that's highly unlikely right now. But even Tremonti says he has enough material to release back-to-back albums in 2015 and 2016. His new album coming out is going to be called Cauterize, and I cannot wait. Another Heart was probably, actually, I think it was the best single of 2015, to be honest. We haven't really had that many, that much good music in 2015 that I've really listened to. But then again, I haven't really listened to much music at all lately because I haven't really been reviewing. So, basically, my point is, they've got the same production value, they've got the same, kind of ambition. Hell, Tremonti's still very active with Alter Bridge, as I said before, so they're basically one and the same. Why compare them? Well, because Tremonti has sort of a metal edge to them. It's kind of a flair in the solo work. Everything, it kind of sounds different. I don't know. Alter Bridge is a bit more technical, and it sounds a lot, they use a lot more variation in the melodies, the song structures, and the kind of music instruments that they use in certain songs, such as in Cry of Achilles, it's more of like an acoustic opening, and in Slip to the Void, it has kind of like a methodical, epic feel in the beginning. But in Tremonti, in All I Was at least, it just feels like a straightforward metal hard rock album or an alternative rock album. Not necessarily heavy, edgy, thrash metal, but just hard metal, I guess. But it's more straightforward than Alter Bridge, I'll give it that much. But it definitely sets the record straight for which one is which. Creed is the commercial side, Alter Bridge is the creative, technical side, and Tremonti is more of the heavier side, the edgier side. So there's 3 great bands that have great material, and right about now, I can't decide which one's better. I'm kind of leaning towards Tremonti to being better than Alter Bridge, just because it's more of a straightforward flow, but then I start listening to Alter Bridge, and god damn, you cannot get past Miles Kennedy's amazing vocals without saying they're better. So, I can't really decide right now, but I still want to know what your guys' opinion is. Put down in the comment section below to voice your opinion and let it be heard to everyone who comes across this video. What do you think? Alter Bridge or Tremonti? Which one is better? The creative alternative side or the heavy and edgy side of rock? This is Midnight Strike 3625, and as always, keep calm and rock on.